We're gay!
And we almost didn't see you there. I'm a lady.
And I'm here to steal your job and your man. And welcome to a gay old time!
Carol, do you know Eve?
Eve?
Eve Harrington.
Like Harry Potter?
No, she's got a breathy voice and linear ambition.
Oh, sounds like a lot of people. Who's Eve?
Well, let me tell you all about Eve. So Carol, what you first need to know about Eve is that she's a star. She's about to receive the Sarah Siddons Award for stage acting, and for some reason, everyone else in the room has stank face.
Karen, a playwright's wife, begins telling us the story of the first night she ever met Eve. It was a dark and stormy night.
And Eve was standing at the stage door of Miss Margot Channing. Karen has seen Eve doing this every night and has decided to invite Eve into the theater to meet Miss Margot.
Margot is less than thrilled to meet one of her fans, but changes her tune after hearing the sad story of Eve's life and hearing just how much she's inspired Eve.
Have you really seen every performance?
Yes.
Why? I'm curious.
Well, if I didn't come to see the play, I wouldn't have anywhere else to go.
Margot hires Eve as a personal assistant, and Eve is the best damn assistant there ever was. Thoughtful, devoted, fanatical.
She's so thoughtful, she even schedules a long-distance call to Margot's boyfriend Bill in Hollywood and plans an entire party in Margot's house without telling her. Margot is thrilled about it.
Bill flies in and is seen laughing with Eve. Margot does not like what she sees. The whole night is basically fucked from here.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Margot drinks like a fish and gets really into her feelings. Meanwhile, Eve is upstairs doing coat check and asks her old pal Karen to pull some playwright's wife strings to get Eve an audition as Margot's understudy.
Margot tells off each and every one of her loved ones.
Don't get up. And please stop acting as if I were the Queen Mother.
Poor little angel, am I right? The next day, Margot arrives at the theater for her understudy auditions, only to learn that Eve's already landed the job. This goes over very well.
Everyone writes off Margot as hysterical, including Karen. Karen arranges to strand Margot in the countryside right before her call time for the show, ensuring that Eve will go on in her place.
Eve invites the city's theater critics, including Addison DeWitt, to her debut performance. She also tries to get sexy with Bill, Margot's man, who rejects her. Addison catches this and decides to take Eve under his wing and writes her a stellar review, in which Eve proceeds to shit-talk Margot very publicly. This also goes over super well.
Margot and Bill make up and get engaged.
After running into each other, Eve politely and breathlessly asks Karen to have her playwright husband, Lloyd, give her the lead role in his new play. When Karen refuses, Eve blackmails her with the prank she played on Margot.
You do all that just for a part in a play. I'd do much more for a part that good.
Lucky for Karen, Margot has decided to take a break from the theater.
Eve gets the part, and according to her, she's sleeping with Lloyd. All we know for sure is he's been over to her place multiple times.
Eve lies to Addison, saying that Lloyd has proposed to her. Addison is not pleased with this and reveals that he knows the truth about Eve. In fact, he knows all about Eve. He blackmails her into belonging to him.
And now we've come full circle. Eve accepts the Sarah Siddons Award and dazzles the audience. Except for a peculiar few.
is now headed for a gig in Hollywood and finds a sleeping girl, Phoebe, in her apartment.
Phoebe volunteers to help Eve. What a sweet, helpful girl.
And the cycle continues. So we're gonna rate this on 3 categories.
Is it good?
Yes. So fucking good. Can you hear me? I don't know. It's high quality and it's I don't really have the words, but it's like honest about the way women have to carry themselves in the world and the diversity in how women carry themselves in the world. It's not just like everyone's like a fake bitch trying to like charm men into getting opportunities. There are women like Margot who are real and honest, but are, you know, hitting their heads against this wall that is like the glass ceiling. I don't know. And then Karen's interesting. Where was I? It's good. It's good.
It's alright. It's good.
It's real good.
It's
so
good.
good.
I'm not as passionate about this movie as Catherine is, but I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the characters are very well done, except for the male characters are not. I've noticed this, is that the female characters are all very dynamic and interesting, and then the male characters in this movie, except for Addison, are all very like, you know, like Lloyd and Sam, Bill
and Lloyd, I think. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, they're so boring. We don't remember their names.
Lloyd and Bill are really like, there's like nothing to
They're
them.
definitely not interesting. No, they're like,
Yeah.
they're both, except they're both sort of the same boring person. They're both just like
They're the
cranky all the time. You know why? They could have been written with more complexity, I guess. But they don't have to be like sweet or tough to get their way. They can just be themselves, and they like don't have to show up to work like with a smile on their face.
I mean, I'm okay with the woman taking the show though. A lot of people really, you know, Betty Davis is of course iconic and everyone remembers her. But I am honestly, I'm gonna have to be honest, I am more impressed by Anne Baxter's performance as Eve in this movie.
Excuse me?
I really am.
Oh my god. I need to finish your thought. Finish your thought and get fucking ready. Fasten your seat.
I know you disagree with this, but I think that she plays it really well as this. I think as this manipulative person, she does it really fucking well. Where you don't really know, you know, like she plays it so it's not just like obviously schemy. Like there's just something to her, and you can't really tell what it is. And then when it comes like she does the switch to like her really like when she's fully going out to manipulative, really really well. And I think that. I don't know. That's the performance that I really sticks with me from this movie. Now, Betty Davis is a lot of fun, and she has like a lot of moments. I appreciated her performance more this second time, because she does like talk a lot about what it is like to be an older woman in the industry, and I of course love older women. I love older women in Hollywood. I just you know I based the whole character around it. So. But I just not as much. I don't know. There's not as. I feel like Eve has the juicier role. I do know that Betty Davis was really mad because Anne Baxter and Betty Davis both went for Best Actress, and Betty Davis was like, "I would have won that if she didn't," because they split the votes. And then the other person was Gloria Swanson in Sunset Boulevard, and they're all very like about showbiz and like. So they think that split the vote, and it went to like. Judy Holliday, who in a performance no one really talks about anymore because the votes got split because of that. It was so frustrating though, because Lloyd was like, oh, I keep playing these 20-something-year-olds. I'm like, well then write a 40-year-old part. And then your problem is gone. You just have to write a part that's appropriate for her.
Ironically, this movie proves that you can have really awesome middle-aged protagonists.
I know! Do you know people think Eve is a lesbian?
No.
That's like a thing on the internet.
Well, then why would she sleep with her?
Because people think she's just doing it to get what she wants. Because people are like, she's so obsessed with Margot. I don't buy into that, but that is a thing.
Yeah.
And since we're the gay movie channel,
Yeah.
people think Addison is
disgusting.
gay as well, which makes no goddamn sense.
I think he's probably, like, just anything sexual.
We need to talk about Karen as a character.
Oh, yeah.
Karen, I felt so... Karen is just, like, so easily manipulated. Like, she's a giving person.
Yeah.
And, like, she wants so hard to help people, but, like, there was so many times I'm like, God damn it, Karen, you're being manipulated!
I mean, can you have your guard up at all times, though?
But she, like, never had her guard up.
No, she eventually learned. And what's ironic is there's that line about, Lloyd scolds her for her cynicism, and she says, "I've been a cynic since the day I realized the difference between me and little boys."
That's weird. She is not a cynic.
Yeah.
She is, like, too positive. Like, even, like, after, like, Eve does that whole article, she's like, well, you know, you was probably a mistake.
She assumed that Eve had good intentions.
Yeah. I wish Margot could have gotten her man and, like, a show that was age appropriate. And that she would have been I don't know.
Maybe she gets one, and we just don't see it.
I almost wanted Margot to have an unhappy ending. I'm gonna be honest. And the original story did, but the movie couldn't. Because in the movie, there's a rule that a bad guy has to get their comeuppance. Back in the 50s, there was a rule. And that's why Addison blackmails Eve, is because they legally could not... Like, they could not release the movie in theaters if she didn't get her comeuppance in some way.
So did Eve have a happier ending in the original story?
Yes, Eve got away with it.
Okay. Yeah, Eve, her arc, I have mixed feelings about, because she's a terrible person, and her whole thing is that she tries to hide her ambition from everyone. Which begs the question, like... if she was just honest about the things she wanted, would we like her? And it's not clear whether... people turn... I feel like I'm not saying this right. But people turn against her once they realize that she's ambitious. And that makes me wonder if the writers are trying to say, A, people are afraid of ambitious women, or B, you should be afraid of ambitious women. Like, it's not clear whether... It's not clear how the writers feel about people backing away from her when she does that. So when she gets the thing she wants but still isn't happy, it feels like she's being punished for going after what she wants.
Did Lloyd sleep with Eve? Did that happen?
I'm sure he did. I'm sure that he did. Yeah, because
It's
he's
really
been over...
Yeah.
We know that he's been over to her place multiple times.
I am also shocked that Bill agreed to direct Eve in that show. Like, come on. They're like, oh, he eventually agreed to it. I'm like, you need more because that does not, like, you know...
Well, he wanted to keep his relationship with Bill, probably.
You mean Lloyd?
Yes, oh my god, they're the same person.
They're the same, they're like, who cares?
Now, Carol, do you find this movie entertaining? Just say it. Break my heart.
It's very similar to how you felt about Shock Treatment. Oh. Yes and no. I think the first time I watched this, I really thought it was entertaining, but this time I was like, I don't know, man. It's just so long. It might have even been the last 20 minutes. Maybe if they cut off the last 20 minutes, I would have been like... But it felt like, you know, at some point I was like, why is this movie still going? You know what I mean? It felt like they had got... I think it was when Margot's storyline resolved. It kind of was like, you know...
Because you missed Margot, because she's a better character, right?
She's a very watchable character. I think Eve is more interesting. Sorry. I would like a movie about Eve that just depth into, like, why she did what she did and everything like that.
I would like more context, because I feel like that's the arc with Nomi Malone in Showgirls, or the wife in The Big Lebowski.
Or like, in The Favorite, Abigail in The Favorite, where she, like, she's, like, this sweet little girl, and then she becomes this manipulative little, like, bitch, and we don't really know. It's a really good movie. Actually, they took inspiration from All About Eve in crafting that character. They took inspiration from Eve. Do
you think Showgirls took inspiration?
Yes, 100%.
It's so similar.
100%.
But All About Eve is, like, the good, sophisticated, good...
I know you love this movie. I like this movie. I think this movie would be more fun to watch with someone who had never seen it before.
Okay.
But when I watched it by myself the second time, it was just like, you know, a lot of the lines made me smile. Like, you can take that award and put it where your heart ought to be. Or, she's like, she begged for forgiveness on her knees, I've no doubt. And, or, fasten your seatbelts, it's going to be a bumpy night. You know, stuff like that. Now we're gonna rate this on the Kinsey scale. This is Catherine's idea, don't yell at me. It goes from 0 is most straight and 6 is most gay. So, Catherine, where would you rate this on the Kinsey scale? It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking it might be below a 3, even. There's no mention of actual homosexuality at all, I don't think. I don't think anyone's even a little gay.
There isn't really in shock treatment either.
No.
There isn't.
Okay.
There's not a single...
It feels like there is. Yeah, I'd say maybe a 3.
I would also give this a 3.
I would even consider giving it a 2.
I don't know, man. I think it is... I think it is pretty in the middle because I think it's just Bette Davis is such a gay icon and she's so glamorous and all that stuff and, you know, and it's just the witty people, like, conversating with each other, you know. So I would give it a 3, but I don't think it's, like... It's not a pride parade.
No.
You know.
No, it isn't. But I feel like it's on that list, or, like, starter pack of
It
gay
is
movies.
mentioned a lot on those lists. It doesn't feel that gay, though. I am going to agree with you.
It might be one of those things where it inspired a lot of gay things, so it's more like the mother of, like, gay content.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel as gay because other story makers saw that and were like, let me raise you this.
Yeah.
So, of course it doesn't feel as gay as Showgirls, but Showgirls...
Yeah.
It's sort of like All About Eve walked so Showgirls could fly.
Except for this movie's good.
Yeah. But in terms of gayness, anyway.
Yeah, I mean, this movie, yeah, I think it's just, like, Margot and Bette Davis and all her iconic lines and her little witty jabs. It's very gay to jab your friends.
I suppose,
like, to shade your friends and read them. And you can even see a bit of, like, Margot reads a lot of people even when she's just like, you can take that award and put it where your heart ought to be. That would be, like, fit right in on a Drag Race, like, episode. Stuff like that, you know, there's just a lot of wit and shade, for lack of a better term. I feel like, yeah. So I think it can definitely be, like, on that list of, like, I think it inspired a little queer boys and a lot of drag queens, which I don't know anything about. So I could say it was a 3, but it doesn't feel exclusively gay. Like I feel like, you know, it feels pretty universal. So I would say it was a 3.
Yeah, I'll say, I'm gonna be brave and say 2. Yeah.
I thought you were going to be shocked how low I put it.
No, I think, you know, it can be good and entertaining without being super duper gay.
Yeah. It's still a little gay.
Yeah. So, Carol, is there anything else you'd like to know about Eve?
You know what? I think I know all about Eve.
You know, you remind me of Eve.
Excuse me, Missy! That's not a nice thing to say! Well, this has been another episode of A Gay Old Time. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know in the comments what movies you'd like to see us do. As long as it's gay, it's okay!